Hi, I'm Zoe from Bliss Yoga. Thanks for watching this video. We're going to talk about Virabhdrasana I, or Warrior One. I'm going to lead you through some tips for setting the pose and finding comfort in the pose. Let's start with the feet. So Warrior One is an asymmetrical lunging position. So one foot's going to be in front of the other. And I'm going to have my right foot in front here. And then we want the right foot to be directed directly forward. The left foot's going to angle in slightly, and that amount of angling in is going to be different for each person. But keep in mind that we have a line from our hip to our foot, and down the center of that line should be the center of the knee. So however your hip rolls in, you want your foot to be about the same, or vice versa. If your hip goes out quite a lot, your foot's going to be about in the same line as the hip. Bring your awareness up to the hips. Most of us have a tilt in the hip. We either tip forward with the hips or we tip back. And Warrior One is going to exacerbate this tendency. We have one leg in extension, which makes the hip want to tip forward, and the right leg here is in flexion, which makes the hip tip backward. So Warrior One is a good place to find a neutral hip. So I'm going to bring my hands to my hips. You can see I have a little tendency to tip forward. So I have to be careful and bring my feet close enough that my hips are neutral. And then as I bend my right knee, the hips are moving forward in space, not tipping forward in space. So I've got this so that I maintain the neutral hip. I get a little more stretch here in the psoas, and then my low back isn't compromised at all. From here, I've got my knee stacked over my ankle. If you need more space, you can walk the knee forward. And again, the line from hip to knee to the center of the foot, one straight line. And my arms are going to extend overhead. Lots of variations for the arms here. You could have the arms out to the side. You could have the arms wide, whatever works for you. Eventually, as the shoulders become more mobile, we're working toward arms straight overhead and a little inward rotation of the arms to engage the trapezius and lengthen those muscles. We'll take a couple breaths here. Virabhdrasana I uses inward rotation of the thighs. So this left leg is rotating inward to help bring the left hip forward, and the right hip is about neutral. And then I'll show you from the front as well. So I'm going to step my left foot back. And you'll see I bring my hands back to my hips to check in with that pelvis. So I'm keeping the pelvis neutral as I bend the right knee. Notice that my hips are not pointing toward the corner over there. They're pointing toward the front of the room so that I maintain the stretch here in the psoas muscle and the length through the front of the torso. And then the arms reach up from that length to take it even bigger. So this is Warrior One, Virabhdrasana I. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Virabhdrasana II.